Oh yeah, hey Ollie. Hi Ollie. Ollie, guess what I got? You're never gonna guess, buddy. Yeah, 'cause you're not capable of thoughts, you won't guess. A Kenwood AT-80, which is a clock with an audio timer on it. So it has a lot of functions, a lot of features. So you plug it into the wall, and then it has two outlets on the back of it. I currently have this Sherwood receiver plugged into it, and the Slumber Center over there. You all remember the Slumber Center from the time that we talked about the Slumber Center. Your options: selector, auto, and through. It's on auto right now, which means that the power going to the outlets in the back is subject to whatever nonsense is happening over here. If I set it to through, that just turns those outlets on. As you can see, the Slumber Center has activated. It slumbers no more. You have a red indicator right there to tell you that the AC outlets on the back are on. And if I set it to auto again, it will turn back off, because now those outlets are subject to all this stuff. Now, as I was trying to figure out how this all worked, I went to Hi-Fi Engine, which is very good, and I got myself the manual. Because, yeah, I could sit here and try to, just figure it out, but also I could just read the instruction manual. And there's nothing wrong with admitting that you don't know what you're doing and reading the instructions, which I don't do very often, admittedly. Your knob over here, present time. It presents the time. That's what it's doing right now. The time is 8:36 p.m. It is presenting me that time. Good work. If I set it to adjust, you wouldn't believe it, it adjusts the time. So I can go forward fast with the forward fast button. I can go backwards fast with the backwards fast button. I can go forward slow with the button that does that, and I can go backwards slow with the button that does that. And it's now 8:37, so we'll set it to that. Now this hold function, I think, is kind of interesting. What you're going to see when I flip it to hold is you're going to see a 7. There it is, just like I said. Now that 7 is the minute position here. All that this does is resets the second counter. So that's your 7 minutes, and there's your 60 seconds, which are now at 0, and they will stay at 0 as long as I have this set to hold. And when I set it back to adjust or present time, the clock starts again. The way that you would use that is to synchronize your time. Say when it gets to 8:39, I wanted it to be exactly in time with the computer. I would go to adjust, set it to 8:39, and then set to hold. And then I would sit there until that gets to 8:39. And at that point, I will release it from hold, and they'll be more or less synchronized. According to the manual, there's a margin of error of about 0.02 seconds, so there is that to consider. And now they're more or less synchronized. There you go. That's a neat feature. Now over here we have a timer set. So let's say I want my Slumber Center to turn on at 8:40. Okay, so we're going to set timer set on, forward to 8:40. Which means that those outlets will now turn on at 8:40, and we're going to set it to turn off at 8:41. So now, when that hits 8:40 in a few seconds, the Slumber Center will reactivate. Here it comes. And there it is. And now, when the time hits 8:41, the Slumber Center will slumber. Wait for that to come around again. Here it comes. And there it goes. At 8:41, turned itself back off. Then the final setting is sleep set over here. Now if we go over there, it is a timer. You can advance the timer slowly or very quickly, and you can set it for a maximum of 1 hour and 59 minutes. Not quite 2 hours. And you can set it as low, or you can keep cycling through, because you don't know when to take your finger off the button. You can set it as low as 1 minute. So now, after 1 minute, the slumber center will turn itself back off. Just like that. And there you have it. So there you go. There's the Kenwood audio timer AT-80, which according to Hi-Fi Engine was released in the years 1980 to 1981. And here's Ollie again. He seems to have collapsed on the floor. You know, he's falling asleep. He's doing his best, but he just can't quite stay awake. Me too, bud.